Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to this van conversion. Today we're going to be showing how we managed to suspend this off the roof of our van, because if you have seen these vans, you don't have a lot of suspension options. You know, you have 1 millimeter thick roof and then ribs which are attached with sealant. So we had to devise a way to be able to basically suspend ourselves off the ceiling. And by the way, the reason this is so unstable is because it's a prototype and nothing is aligned to, you know, match the center of, you know, anything. It's work in progress. It's just a prototype. Though if I get a heart attack before it's finished, please somebody finish my work afterwards. So this thing is going to be a sandwich of nuts, plates, bolts, washers, whatnots and things like that. But the first thing to do is to get all of the pieces ready to be assembled, which means that we need to chop up these pieces of extremely heavy steel. Though it has to be steel because you need some strength in this. Luckily, our miter saw should be able to cut to this, so let's find out. I must say this miter saw was a good purchase.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll leave the link down below because it's a good one and it's cheap.
Whenever you go into a hardware store and you think, will 1 meter be enough, or should I buy the slightly bigger one? Buy the slightly bigger one, because we made the mistake of buying the 1 meter one and we needed to buy a second one. So to thread the sandwich together, we're going to be using this M8 threaded rod. So we've got, again, 2 meters of it. Now we're going to cut it probably slightly bigger than we need. So we're going to cut it to 18. If that does turn out to be too big, we can always trim it later.
Each of them needs filing a bit, and I would feel more comfortable if we treat these, especially the ones that are sticking outside.
Yeah. And we need to drill some holes in those.
Yes, and then treat these as well. For accuracy's sake, I actually think it's best to find the midpoint of this, and that way you know that your 2 dots are definitely on the same line instead of like a millimeter or millimeter and a half sort of off its center. It's stuck. It's stuck to the wood. How? Alright, so I'm back on the roof here, and the next thing to do is to pick where we drill our holes. So we know that is a skylight spot, so that's going to be cut out. So that means there's a rib here and there's a rib here. So somewhere between this rib and this rib, we're going to install one of our suspension ribs. Based on the location of that bolt from the inside, we know that the first place that we can put our rig is here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position these carefully and then mark exactly into the butyl tape where we're going. So obviously this is reversed. This is going to be on the inside, but it's a good measuring technique. So I measured the distance from the center of this threaded rod to the center of our already inserted bolt. That is about 5.3 to 5.5. So theoretically, we can just drill through those and we'll be fine.
and look from the underneath, that's the bolt that's on the roof. So our skylight's going in there. That's the rib. That's that bolt. And then, yeah, around 5.3 to 5.5 mil from the centre of that bolt, that's where the hole will be for the first one and the second one.
We're also going to install a rib, not there, but somewhere along that line. Ignore how messy it is here. It is not complete. Everything's going to be covered, painted, whatever. Just let us build the van first. I need to know where the shower walls are.
Oh.
Okay. Do not open sliding door on person sitting on the roof.
That is true. Right. The shower wall ends. Hold on.
Have in mind, the only marker I have here is the end of the sliding door and 2 bolts.
So the bolt here.
Yeah.
Where's the bolt here? I don't know.
Right here where you're pointing.
Right. I'm going to measure the distance from this bolt to the shower wall. That is 19. What are you doing?
Filming.
Right. So from this bolt, 19 out is where the shower wall starts.
Well, we only have really one choice here because we're trying to avoid drilling into the unistrut. So we have this hole and this hole to go through. That should be
Wedged.
okay.
So now I've got it marked on. Those blue crosses will be where this comes through. Just about, yeah. Right, so we've got all the equipment on the roof, the drill and everything. We're going to drill it from top down just because it's easier. I don't feel like drilling up.
Plus, we can ensure that we get into those holes.
Yeah, plus we'll definitely know that we're in these unistrut holes if we drill from the top down. So the rod is an 8mm rod, so we're going to drill an 8.5, 9mm hole to give us some wiggle room in case it's not dead straight, but that basically allows for some adjustments. We're losing light here, so we're going to be quick. We've got a light on the roof. We're going to go. I need my drill bits. So I think it's a little bit too dark to carry on for tonight, so we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning.
Morning all. Okay, so back to work. Alright, so we finished drilling the holes last night and it obviously got really dark and uncomfortable to be up there. But we're about ready to start assembling. So let's do a dry fit. So we need 2 plates for, this is per thing. A spring washer, another plate, I think 3 or 4 nuts. So 1, 2, 3, 4 nuts. The van roof is beyond this line here. The other plate goes beneath. This bottom rig, so the bar stays here, and the bottom plate is for extra strength because these are not strictly structural and they're not really designed to be used for suspension. So this steel plate should take a lot of the brunt. There you go. So we need another nut, and that nut is going to meet the plate. Like that. Okay. And then the rest of it is outside. So we got the van roof coming up next. Then you have this contraption in the unistrut, like so, and that gets threaded on the rest of the top here. There you go. So essentially this is what this is going to look like.
And then our aluminium rod will fit in that key clamp, and there'll be another one on the other side.
Okay, so let's go test the other holes. Well, I can tell you that it's very good that we did a 10 mil hole on all of these because there is some wiggle room necessary, but it does fit. Aha! Gotcha!
Wonderful.
See, and it just fits here. That's good.
Yeah, it just fits in the shower.
Who else can say that they have a random piece of key clamping nut sandwich in their shower?
Well, the thing is about this rod that will come across here, not only is it going to be used for a seat, but whilst we're in the shower, we'll probably have a curtain on it, so we can use it as a curtain rod.
Well, it's not really for the shower, the shower closure. It's for the so this is one bedroom, and you have another bedroom over there where you're standing.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to close off this compartment and this compartment, and then have the toilet to be independent.
Yeah.
During the night, if obviously both bedrooms are being used. We need to spray some primer up here as well. So we need 2 spring washers per side, 2 rods, 2 plates, 2 nuts, and the rest goes on the bottom. So for waterproofing, we need to put sealant, and we have a brand new bottle of 512. The spring washers are the way you secure things to the Unistrut. They are specifically designed for Unistrut. And what you do is you put it this way, you compress it down, and then you swivel it. There you go. Until those teeth that you saw on top, these teeth, latch in the what is it, the wings of the strut or whatever. Then you're supposed to thread down here. Nearly there. How do I get you in there? Because I didn't want to mess it up with a spring washer. But how do I get the sealant where the hole is? Alright, so there's sealant, and the sealant should basically plug up the hole as I screw.
Yeah, you got it. So that is now not going anywhere at all. And this steel piece of metal here, that's basically to keep the sandwich between the Unistrut above and this tight and structural and solid and unmovable, like the Hulk or something.
That speech?
I don't know. I improvised. So now that we've got all the plates in and secure, now comes the moment you've all been waiting for, actually installing this in a rib. So this here is our aluminium rod that's 40mm in diameter and 3mm thick. And according to our mechanical inertia calculations, this will be able to support over 100 kilos on a single point right in the center, which is plenty. So, and plus the load's going to be spread, yada yada yada, that's how mechanics works. So this will be able to work. We need to put the aluminium rod in the key clamp.
Yeah.
And then put that all up as one piece. Then put the plates beneath that.
Yeah.
And then put nuts beneath that.
Yeah.
Then tighten the nuts up a little bit so we don't have to hold that pipe up.
Yeah.
Then we can tighten everything up and get it level.
Yeah.
Non-flex height from my angle is 7.5 centimeters from the roof. Test 1. Careful of your head. When you're ready, dangle. You can take your weight. You're dangling? 7mm. It flexed 7mm. Our calculation said it would flex 7.4mm, and it does. I feel like Tony Stark in
Tony Stark.
You know, in his workshop, it's like test 1. Just...
Yeah, but on test 1 he flew into the wall.
Fine, we're test 2.
Yeah, that wasn't that successful either.
Commence dangling.
Oh man.
Woo! Your turn. Grip your feet around. Oh no 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 no! I didn't literally mean go upside down.
It hasn't fallen yet.
Oh.
Remember, there's a beam there.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm. Close enough. Yeah, but the good thing about this design is that we can replace the bar at any point. So if there's deformation in the future, or if hopefully it doesn't break, but if it does, we can replace it. We can replace the key clamp with something sturdier. So as long as we did our job well in the actual mounting it to the van part, so on the roof stuff,
Yep.
that should be okay. So yeah, here's the result. Okay, I'm taking it a bit beyond what I had before. Yeah, so now we get to be cool in our hanging chair. So now we get to carry on designing this hanging chair so we don't give ourselves many heart attacks. So now we'll be able to start designing around this chair to be able to actually make it functional. This wall can now be designed and built, I should say. We get to be able to play around with this thing now that we know where a chair is. These are supposed to be desks, and in order to be able to build them, we need to know how this chair functions, you know, how far they are. Okay, well, this desk needs a bit of work. So basically I work here, I do that, then I have extra, it's like a narrow L couch and things, but more on this later. But look at this chair. Oh my god. Yeah, so, you know, subscribe for next time. Things will be a bit more stable.